Now, back to WFO Radio, NHRA Nitro.
Welcome to NHRA Nitro. Pro Stock winner Deric Kramer coming up just seconds from now. Fans of Pro Stock, what a year it has been. So resurgent. More cars, more personalities, a great battle for the championship. Deric Kramer picking up the win over Matt Hartford. We're going to speak with him. And this all happens because of some great sponsors. I want you to know about them. Guys like Marvin Rodak and Rodak's Coffee and Grills.com with his great coffee and hot sauces and spice rubs and everything roasted fresh per your order and shipped to your house. It is great. But we're going to his home track, the AAA Texas Fall Nationals, this coming weekend. Marvin's going to be out there turning wrenches, hanging out at the Fan Fest. Be sure to swing by and say hi to Marvin from Rodak's Coffee and Grills.com. Samtech.edu, the School of Automotive Machinists and Technology. Start your education at full speed. High-performance engine builders. I'll tell you what, Chris Vang, who works for Deric Kramer, is a Samtech.edu graduate. So it's a perfect example. Blockhead CNC programming, motorsport EFI tuning, all of the great information. And plus, they've got great contacts all over industry to help you get started. That's Samtech.edu. That's Samtech.edu. Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School, the Dragster Adventure. You can drive a dragster for 130 miles per hour, 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. It's a great experience. Why wouldn't you want to drive a dragster? Courses start at $399. They travel the country. To me, this is the ultimate gift, the Dragster Adventure, for the adrenaline junkie in your family. Go to frankhawley.com to find out more information. MagicDryUS.com, better than clay, 5 times the absorbency of clay, the official organic absorbent of the NHRA. It's made out of coconut. They do a great job, and you can get bags, you can get spill kits. It's all at magicdryus.com. Check them out. And Total Seal Piston Rings, the leader in ring seal technology. Total Seal stepping up to support WFO. IndyCar to Stock Eliminator, they have the rings, whether it be Supercross, Motocross, or otherwise. They make piston rings for your pistons. Check them out, TotalSeal.com. Plus Drag Racing Edge magazine and EV3 Drag Racing for your mobile device. Let's get into it. Joining us now, he was the Pro Stock winner out there at the NTK Carolina Nationals. Took the win over Matt Hartford in the final round. Deric Kramer joins us now. Deric, welcome back to WFO. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. Glad to be here.
Big win. Big win. Back on the board. This one right in the countdown.
Yeah, had to happen soon, or we were going to be out for sure.
Well, exactly. Like, you kept your championship hopes alive with the win, and looking at the point standings as I bring them up, you are in the mix. You're going to have to do a lot more and get a little help, but it's better than where you would have been without a good run.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's really what we were shooting for. We knew we had a lot of work ahead of us with a couple of earlier than we wanted round exits, and snafu last week didn't help. So bouncing back with a good performance is exactly what we wanted.
Snafu, situation normal, all messed up.
Yep.
Remind me what went down out there in St. Louis?
So basically, St. Louis E1. I staged the car, pre-staged the car, looked off the tree for a second to set brake pressure, get the right amount of brake pressure that I like. And once I did that, I looked back up and I was pre-staged and both lights were, and everyone was in. And, I was staged, not just pre-staged like I expected to be. And the tree was activating. So right then and there, I had to deck it, make sure I hit the RPM limit, and then launch. And by the time I did, I had a 1:30-something reaction time and lost on a whole shot. Fastest car of race day, I think. Yeah, it was bad.
Memory is returning of that moment. You had, low ETA race day on that round. But these things are supposed to be hard to drive, right? And that's the challenge of Pro Stock. Whenever we're telling new fans about them, they're like, well, those aren't 330 miles per hour. And no, they're not, but they're very hard to drive, very challenging, and the driver can definitely factor into winning or losing the race. That's why you guys are doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely one of the most unforgiving classes, that's for sure. If you're not perfect every week, it's hard to win. So if you hit the rev limiter or you short shift or you're late on the tree, you're probably going home.
88 points out of the lead, sitting fifth. I say you're still if I told you you'd be 88 out of the lead with 3 races to go at the start of the season, I bet you would have told me you'll do that deal.
Yeah, I definitely would have. Yeah, I'll take it, yeah, for sure.
There it is. All right, let's talk about your round by round, because it was kind of an interesting race day with Greg and Jason going out early on hole shots. And so, those are your KB power suppliers there. You went up against Kenny Delco, ran 6:54.7. It's been great to watch Kenny, by the way. He's resurgent, actually out-qualified you. Number 7 qualifier, Kenny Delco in the top half. We got to give them a big hats off, because they are exactly what we all want, right? People who are investing in pro stock, keeping it going, but you took them down round 1 to advance to round 2.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, hats off to those guys. Those guys made good runs all weekend, and we didn't. It's as simple as that. When we didn't make good runs on Friday night, we had that incident with the unfortunate accident of Alan Przinsky. We were going to go up there at 2,400 foot air with kind of swing for the fences on that run. Got delayed half hour maybe. Not sure how long it took to do the whole cleanup and everything. But by the time we ran, it was like 1,500 foot air. So we had way more car and way more power than our car was set up for on that particular run, and just instantly blew the tires off. They weren't able to make good runs, and then at that point on, we were kind of behind the 8 ball. Q3, we had to go out and make a get down the racetrack run. Q4, then we can kind of step on it again, and that brought us up from 12 maybe, I think, to 10. So that got us in at least in a better qualifying position. But again, not in the top half of the field, lose lane choice first round. It's tough.
Absolutely. But you did get around with a very strong run, set up a run against Jeg. Jeg was perfect first round. A lot of great reaction times, a lot of double O's, Hartford 001, Jeg trip 0, Shane Tucker 005. People were either hitting Christian Quadra 007, Erica 11, a lot of Fernando Quadra 014, a lot of people like crushing the tree round 1, and some just missing it. Jeg comes up second round. Talk about prepping for one of the elite flagship cars. He did ultimately turn it red, but this was going to be a big race.
Yeah, absolutely. It was, I figured with a 000 on the first round against an opponent that you're probably supposed to beat 99 times out of 100, that he was probably pushing it a little too hard. So I expected him to back off a little bit for the second round. Luckily, it worked in my favor, and he didn't, right? He would have outran me on the racetrack, and he goes, I think he was 004 red. He goes,
yes.
4th out slower, and beats and just crushes me, right? I watch his taillights while we cross the finish line. So I got lucky on that one. That was my lucky round for sure.
And it just, the cosmic forces that I'm always referencing, some people call them the racing gods, whatever. You just don't know what they're going to serve you up.
Absolutely. It's tough, but that is one of the reasons we go out and do it every day, and we race instead of race on qualifying.
So that sets up a semifinal matchup with a tough racer from, Top Dragster, from Super Stock, Aaron Stanfield, who runs Factory Stock Showdown, tunes those cars. His dad, a 4-time champ, has run Pro Stock, back when he was 19, now getting a second shot at it at, 24 or whatever he is right now, 22 years old. And, he took down Greg Anderson. He took down Shane Tucker. So you got to prepare for the kid. And, you're the old man in this pair. How did you prepare for Aaron Stanfield, another one of the elite cars?
Yeah, at the end of the day, I'm just trying to go out there and do cut 30 or better lights and force them to win rounds. I have got great KV power, and I'm able to kind of rely on that more than I ever have in the past, honestly. I mean, I came from my own engine program, which wasn't near what everyone else was running as far as power, and we knew that. We made good runs, but any chance of a victory for me had to come from my clutch foot. And just luckily teaming up with KB and getting that horsepower, that took a lot of the pressure off of me. And now I'm just striving for 30 or better on race day and force them to beat me. If they go out there and they go 00 against my 30 and they win, that's a great race. Good job for them. But I'm going to win a lot more than I lose doing that.
That is an interesting strategy, and it makes sense. It's almost a card player's strategy. You win a lot of hands in poker with certain hands.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I definitely am going to go out there and play to the percentages and exactly that.
But we know you can ramp it up when you need it.
Yeah, I try. I definitely do. I remember it being a lot easier when I first started. I'll tell you that right now. The longer I do this, the harder it seems to be.
Isn't that crazy? That's so funny that you say that. It's the old, you don't know what you don't know. And now that you know what you know, it's harder, which is funny. But you get around Aaron, and you're 048, he's 061. You outran him 653.7 to a 656.7. So good run, strong run, the 53. Setting up the final round, Matt Hartford got through Fernando Quadra, Chris McGahey, Erica, which helped out the field in terms of points. And now you're setting up for Hartford. They're hungry for a win. You guys are both 30. You're 36, he's 30, and you beat him by a couple of thou in what was a great race.
Absolutely, one of the best races of the day, in my opinion. Of all of the matchups that particular day in Pro Stock, it was just a great race. I think we gained it all in 60 foot and just carried it the rest of the way. Honestly, that's the way it felt, and I kind of could tell he was out over there in my peripheral vision, but just launched the car, took off. Car sat down nice, clean, smooth run, and luckily got to the finish line first. Saw my light come on, and they started talking to me over the radio, and zero idea what they said whatsoever.
Yeah, now who's talking to you? Because I want to talk about your crew chief, Mike Heiner, and I know Chris Vang. Chris came on our Factory Stock podcast a few weeks ago. He is a samtech.edu graduate, and he told us his whole story and how thrilled he is to be a part of the team. He's living his dream. It's just so many amazing aspects of it. And Mike Heiner, I've gotten to know a little bit because we just kind of shoot the bull on the starting line, and he's a funny character. Like he's a character, and you're dealing with all of this. What is the character of your team? Talk a little bit about those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. It was Michael Heiner Mikey that was talking to me on the radio,
aka Bobby Hill.
AKA Bobby Hill. Yeah, he typically will tell me what I run, what the scoreboard says, basically. And then sometimes I can't quite tell if I've won or not. I fly by the win light without noticing it, and so he'll let me know if I won or not. And at this time, I saw the win light come on in my lane, and he told me the mile an hour. He told me the ET. I have zero recollection of what he told me whatsoever. No idea. But yeah, the dichotomy, I guess, of the team is we're all out there to have a good time and make good runs. And that's the one really cool thing that I have really grown to love about Pro Stock is I really don't care who's next to me at this point. It doesn't really matter because I'm going to go out there and I'm going to race in my lane and I'm going to race my side of the tree, and I'll let the scoreboard and the timing lights and all that determine whether or not I win. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who's over there. It could be 10-time world champion or first guy down the racetrack, and it shouldn't affect me one way or the other. And that's the way I try and view it, because I don't need any added pressure. There's plenty of it there, that's for sure. And it's not really going to affect how the car runs, what they're going to do.
Right. Well, Reinhardt says it all the time. There's no defense. You just got to go do your thing and hope you've done enough. And worrying about the competition over there, like who it is. Oh, my gosh, it's Matt Hartford, it's Erica. They're going to go 00, or maybe they're not. It's inconsequential. You just do whatever you can do, turn it as green as possible without going red, and shift the gears.
Yep, absolutely.
That is interesting. Now, in terms of championship, give me your confidence, your feeling about where you are with 3 to go heading into Dallas.
I'm going to need some luck, but this definitely is going to set us on the right momentum track for sure. I'm going to need a couple of cars to fall early in a few rounds and in a couple of races, and that'll put me right in it.
Now, you guys have got something on your car, and if it's top secret, by all means, tell me that you can't tell me about it, but there's a light on your bumper. And I noticed some people noticed, like, hey, what's up with the light on the bumper?
Yeah, it's a super top secret Pro Stock tech trick, and I'm going to let you in on it right now.
All right.
All that does is separate my reaction time from the car's reaction time.
Got it. And so, like, when you're going back on video, you see when the light comes off, and then how long before the car moves?
So yeah, we can have a high-speed camera. We can look at the Christmas tree and that light on my bumper, and that light is directly tied to the clutch switch. So as soon as the clutch is disengaged, I have moved. The car has not actually moved at that point. It will move fractions of a second later, and at that point, we can kind of tell: did I just miss the light, or did we slow the car down somehow?
Got it. I like it. Now, not everybody has that. There's only like a couple out there. So
yeah, I mean, it
innovation.
definitely is. Yeah, I mean, it's just a tool to help me as a driver to know that I do a lot of things off of numbers. I just know if I miss the light by looking at the number. Oh, I'm just this much slower than I was the last round. Oh, well, I'm typically this number. Well, that means that didn't eat enough sugar today, or whatever it is that I missed the tree. Well, if I was my number and I'm all of a sudden cutting 70 lights, well, we have a pretty good indication that there's something slow on the race car, and we need to figure out what that is.
Got it. No, I love it, and I appreciate you sharing it with us. You certainly did not have to do that, but I appreciate you doing that. And
I do the same thing with my shifts. I know how long it's supposed to take me to go from one gear to the next, and I know what my shift light is set to. So if my shift time is longer the next run than it was the prior three, then I know that I'm missing the shift. We can easily tell that when we come back and I have shifted at 10-2, 10-2, 10-4, 10-5, 10, or that's it, right? Then we know that I can look at those times it takes from the light to come on to when I actually shift, and if that's my number, then we just need to raise the shift lights. So
yeah.
It's a little more mathematical and how we determine where the shift point is supposed to be. Then, well, this gear's a little faster, so we're going to give you a little more shift light.
Got it. No, listen, that is awesome, and I appreciate the insight for our Pro Stock fans out there, and we've got so many of them that are the Pro Stock fans were kind of forced to circle the wagons a few years ago, and I think they are starving for knowledge, right? So even little things like that are appreciated. And you're a numbers guy. We're talking about writing the iPhone apps and apps for phones, so you're dealing with code. You consider yourself an analytical type person?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if I can't put a number on it, I don't understand it.
Interesting. And yet you're into sword play, though. There's no number on sword play.
Yeah, well, there is that.
Right? Like this guy.
I guess there's a little art in everybody.
Well, exactly. And even the most mathematical dude's got some art. What about Halloween? You guys are always big participants in the Halloween Vegas thing. Are you guys going to do that again this year? You do not have to reveal what you're going to do, just that you will be participating.
Yeah, I think if we can get everything together, we got a graphic artist on some stuff, and if we can get it all together, we'll have something.
Awesome. Well, great to hear. Deric, congratulations on your win out there in Charlotte. You're right in the middle of the championship. You still got a very strong chance. There are, I would say, 5 of you that have got the best possible chance. I don't want to count out Jag just yet, though. He's too good. But it is going to be tough. It's going to be a fight. 3 races remaining. You're right in the middle of it. Thank you for spending a little time with us here on WFO Radio and sharing some insights to what's going on with your team.
Hey, thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Deric. Deric Kramer with us here on WFO Radio Podcast. And for you Pro Stock fans out there, and speaking directly to people who love Pro Stock, there's a Facebook group, Fans of Pro Stock. I try to put the show out there. It is greatly appreciated if you share the show in these interviews. I know there are a lot of people that like to post photographs from Pro Stock's golden era, 1980s photos and everything. And everybody loves checking out the photos. But to me, when you can actually hear from the drivers and learn about what they're doing, that's how you grow the sport. Because all of a sudden he says something that's interesting to someone and they're like, oh, wow, I want to watch now. I want to see that. And I think that would be very helpful in the whole grand scheme of Pro Stock. So share the show, this interview in particular. Eddie Granaccia last week did a great job from the crew chief perspective. And Mike Heiner is on my short list of, a.k.a. Bobby Hill, of having on as a crew chief because they are all characters. Some people think that the crew chief is the drivers or the stars and the celebs. And yeah, that's true in many ways. But these crew chiefs are all characters. They've all got lifetime of experience that they've been building up. You don't get to this level just by accident. And so it is really amazing to see them all work. And this year, of course, if you've been watching those Total Seal videos, you know I've had my hands on Pro Stock Car a little bit, and it is amazing. As much as I loved and appreciated the class in the past, it is now like, oh, wow. And this is one of the best classes of drag racing, of all motorsports, period. And I really think there's going to be growth in Pro Stock because look at Deric Kramer, perfect example, right? They've been running a lot of Lucas Oil stuff, Sportsman stuff, Comp Eliminator, and otherwise. They like, you know what? We think we can, if we only had the power, right? If we only had the power, we think that our combination, our crew, our guys, we think if once we have the power, we can tune and race as good or better than anybody. And they're proving it. And so is Matt Hartford, and so are others out there. And that's what's exciting. And hopefully there are more on the way, more coming next year. Groups of men, right, and women. Maybe they run comp. Maybe they run top sportsmen. Maybe they're used to making chassis adjustments. Maybe they want to test their mettle against the best of the best and go out and compete, and track conditions and deal with situations and put it in the hands of their driver and launch and try to win or lose. Pro Stock, it's awesome right now. It is very awesome. Different than it once was, but it is awesome. It's a great class. Thanks to Deric for coming on the show. Thanks to all of you, WFO radio listeners. The archive is going to be loaded. Robert Height, Steve Torrance, Alan Reinhart, Andrew Hines. We're actually going to hear from Richie Stevens. He's going to be running this weekend. Going to hear from Richie. Going to be a lot of interesting stuff out there this weekend at the AAA Texas Fall Nationals. So head to the archive. Get ready again. Our sponsors, you know them, TotalSeal.com, MagicDryUS.com, Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School, Marvin Rodak and RodaxCoffeeandGrills.com, Samtech.edu. How about Chris Vang? Big win out there for a Samtech graduate. Drag Racing Edge and EV3 Drag Racing. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at WFO Joe. You can follow the show at WFO Radio. Remember, the mobile application is absolutely free. And Saturdays at NHRA National Event, our WFO Shirt Day, you can get it at NitroFishRacing.com or in the Nitrofish trailer. All right, everybody, that's going to do it. Hit that archive. More WFO to come.
WFO! The views and opinions of the hosts, guests, or callers do not necessarily reflect that of the station ownership, advertisers, or agencies.
I love WFO Radio.
Oh, yeah.
Start your education at full speed with the School of Automotive Machinists and Technology. Accelerate your career as a high-performance engine builder with classroom instruction and practical hands-on experience in the lab, on the dyno, and at the track. In addition to the blockhead and CNC programs, SAM now offers motorsport, EFI tuning, and an Associates of Applied Science degree. And SAM is a military-friendly school, approved to train veterans and other eligible persons under the GI Bill. Start your education at full speed. Go to samtech.edu today.
Hey, everybody, how do you start your day? You started off with a little coffee. And do you want something cheap and vacuum-packed garbage? Do you want to pay for a retail coffee? It's like $11. Or do you want something that is good, like RodaxCoffeeandGrills.com? Join the Rodax Army. WFO users and listeners know all about it. Over 40 grades to choose from. This is roasted fresh per your order, not to mention hot sauce, spice rub. You got to call Marvin, get on the phone line, or go to the website, RodaxCoffeeandGrills.com. Check it out. That's RodaxCoffeeandGrills.com. The one thing that top drag racing teams agree on is Hangstifers.com. Hangstifers metalworking lubricants are going to make you more efficient in the machine shop. It's going to save your tools, it's going to improve your surface quality, and it's going to make you quicker and more efficient. Go to Hangstifers.com to find out more information. Hangstifers metalworking lubricants since 1937.
Subscribe to WFO Radio on iTunes. Never miss a show. And don't forget to write a review. WFO.
This is WFO Radio.